you tell the team after Anaheim scores with under a minute to go to send it to overtime?
Let's go win the hockey game. And that stuff happens. And we've had our fair share of kind of tough breaks. And I don't know if breaks is the right word. I'm not a big believer in breaks. But, we've had tough moments where, we've kind of got knocked down a little bit. And I think we've continued to get back up. And that's a huge part of this life, man. And it's going to happen. And but I thought we went out to win the game. I mean, overtimes are overtimes. Like, they had some 2-on-1s. If they, execute, then they score. But, you get enough of them. I thought we did some things that we had talked about actually this morning. We kind of met on 3-on-3 and 4-on-4, ironically enough. And I thought we did some smart things, a couple of smart changes, stuff like that.
Were there lessons taken from those first two overtimes? The players are talking about the changes and shot selection.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's lessons, and I think part of that is you got to live it a little bit, and you got to kind of get through it. But definitely lessons, and obviously the Boston overtime we could have won for sure, and we didn't. But so good for us. I think the one thing this group's done is. No matter what the topic is, I think they've taken the information in and then gotten better at it. And it doesn't mean you're just going to go like this, but incrementally you just want to keep getting a little bit better at all those areas.
Second period was pretty one-sided tonight. How do you explain the third period dominance all of a sudden?
Well, that's momentum is one. I think sometimes I think we did to them in the third what they did to us in the second. That was kind of grind us in our end. We can barely get off the ice, and then they grind you in and then in the third, I thought we did that to them. And so when you make the other team play defense a lot, all they're trying to do is get a change. You can just keep jamming it back down their throats. We had times where we changed on the fly with guys in the O-zone, and so that's kind of the back and forth of a hockey game sometimes. It was the second. I thought we kind of hurt ourselves by not being strong enough on the puck and probably turned too many pucks over. I thought in the third we did a better job of when there was plays to be made. Man, we went tape to tape and it was fun to watch. But when there wasn't plays to be made, we made the smart play and got it in behind. And then because of that, we played in their end more.
You used Dickinson in such a unique way. How are you able to fill in? It felt like Nazar's line got a little bit more of the defensive zone.
Yeah, that was kind of decision as the game went along, and Frankie was doing well in the circle, especially. So, then they kind of ended up out there in a lot of those situations. Nazar's line's been really good. Dickinson's line's been really good. From a kind of. Goals for percentage, chance for percentage. They've been really good line on a consistent basis, one momentum, things like that. So when he's out, guys got to step up, and I thought a number of guys kind of, you just kind of incrementally just got to kind of fill some of those roles, and guys did a good job of it.
5 times in 7 games you put Spencer Knight out there, and you've been competitive in every one of them. But how big has he been on the back end for you guys?
Really good, but I'd include Sodi in that too. Like we've gotten really good goaltending every night. That's the reality of it. And knock on wood, we hope we continue to get it. We think both guys are really, really capable. I think when they made the trade, when Kyle made the trade for Spencer last year, I think he envisioned the opportunity that he'd have to be the number one to be a number one goalie in this league. My background on Spencer, I felt like he could be a number one goalie in this league, and we're giving him that opportunity. But with that said, Sodi's going to be an important piece of this as well. And I think we've been pretty blessed with pretty good goaltending every night.
With Spencer, you talk about framing performances and process in a playoff mindset. How much does it help you as a coach when you have your goaltender framing things the same way and viewing these close games as that's how the playoffs are going to be?
I've been really impressed with him. He's been part of a great organization in Florida. He's seen what it takes to get to the top, and I've been really impressed with the conversations I've had with him of him understanding how you have to play, understanding how the process has to be, understanding all those things, and I think he's helped impart that to a lot of our younger players, and it's just a learned thing, and I'm sure when Spencer first came in the league, he didn't know that, and now as he's watched what's been the best team in the league the last number of years, watched how they went about their business, he learned a lot, and I think he's done a really good job. We've kind of I think we've gained a really good goalie, but we've also gained somebody that has that experience, and that's important.